So just wanted to have a little check-in. It's been a lot going on lately. It's been a minute, so little check-in. We had the big race in Ottawa, the Ottawa 5K and 10K, which was honestly the first time I'd done any kind of like competitive running in a really long time. And started with the 5K. I thought it was going to be like a 15K race because I signed up for both, the dual, the 5 and the 10. It turned out like you had to run the 5, take a rest, like a 20-minute rest, and then run the 10. So it was a hard thing to pace because I wasn't sure how hard to go on the 5 to be able to get a good time on the 10. So I just kind of ran the 5 as hard as I fucking could, and then took a break and then run the 10 as hard as I could. And actually, I really surprised myself. Got some really good times. Obviously, we're at elevation up there. We're about 6,000 feet elevation, and it's a real hilly course, like lots of up, down, up, down, up, down. So it's a really challenging course. And yeah, I got like 23 something for the 5K. I like came third in my age group, and then for the 10K, did it in like 50 minutes, and then came fifth in my age group, which, you know, considering I'm like 47. Hadn't competitively run for a long time, and had some really good competition. Like people came from all around to compete in it. It was awesome. Like the whole thing was amazing, and it just reminded me like how fun it is to actually compete in something, and how much better you perform when you're around people who are performing. You know, it's hard to like run at your best and to your best when you're just kind of on your own, doing your own thing. But as soon as you've got people around you, as soon as you've got a crowd, as soon as you've got that energy, you do better. You just perform better. And something clicks in your brain that just gives you that extra percentage. Just makes you push yourself that little bit harder. And, you know, I ran a lot as a kid, and I know I've run a few things over the years, but I just kind of forgotten that, like how much that makes a difference. So I really enjoyed the whole experience, and I'm going to do more stuff like that. And we have a lot of stuff coming up. Like I had this this Cactus-to-Clouds hike on October 3rd, which is a, you know, it's a one-day hike, but with a lot of elevation, and a real short amount of time. Like it's just straight up, basically. And I'm doing that with a couple of friends, and I'm excited about that. It's one of those. They say it's one of the most challenging day hikes in America. So I'm looking forward to the challenge of that. So I've been doing like obviously a lot of running, a lot of rucking, a lot of hiking, a lot of lunging. You know, I'm always, you know me, I'm always training anyway. Like I'm always doing my strength work, always training my glutes and my hamstrings, my quads, and always like mixing in that cardiovascular stuff. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be in pretty good shape for it. I do need to get some decent hikes under my belt before then, which Josh is going to help me out with. You guys know Josh. Josh is like, he's a kid, like he's like 26 now, I think. But he's got a lot of experience with endurance stuff. Like that kid grew up running in the mountains. He was like an endurance athlete. He knows all of the trails in Ottawa like the back of his hand. So he'll take me on some hikes and, you know, put the old man through it. So I'm excited about that. Then I've got this HYROX race coming up in November, which I'm doing with Eric from Redondo. And again, Eric's a lot younger than me and like way fitter. I'm like, was an incredible CrossFit athlete, and he's now doing a lot more kind of running and HYROX. But yeah, phenomenal athlete. So, and we're pairs in that. We're doing the partner HYROX. So I don't want to like slow him up too much. So trying to like hold my own. So again, I got to do a lot more running, a lot more of those kind of like HYROX type workouts. But I made a post about this. My goal is to not lose muscle in that endeavor. And this is a problem that I see with a lot of people that get into that kind of stuff. you know, you spend all this time like gaining muscle, which is super hard to do, especially at 47. Like, to actually stack muscle on your body and to hold a good weight while still doing cardiovascular work and that kind of like power endurance work is actually extremely hard and takes a lot of attention. It's very easy to lose weight. If I'm running all the time and doing a ton of cardio, mixing in that HYROX stuff, it's really easy to go from like 210 down to 190 for me. I don't want to do that. Like, it took me a long time to get to 210, and I want to keep that muscle on my body. So my goal is not to be like the best HYROXer in the world, but it's just to be decent, to feel good, to hold on to the muscle, to look how I want to look, and feel fit, you know, feel fit, feel good, feel healthy, enjoy it, not like be puking in a bucket after the first like 20 minutes, and just have fun with it. And again, just signing up for something is just fun to have something to look forward to. And then February, I'm doing the Austin half marathon. I'm going to meet up with Blake and Laura, my friends in Austin, and we're going to do that half marathon. Again, same deal, like definitely not going to be like in the top 20% of that race, but I'll get a decent time and I'll have fun with it and it'll be enjoyable. And I love Austin. It's one of my favorite cities. So I'm looking forward to that. But all the way up to that, all the way through all these things, I'll still be doing my hypertrophy work, still be doing my strength work, still be doing boxing, you know, mixing it all in, because that's, for me, that's what I enjoy the most. Just that kind of broad range of fitness, that mix of like bodybuilding and conditioning that I enjoy. And the whole point with all this stuff is to enjoy it. Like, if you, at this stage, I'm not trying to be the best at anything. I'm trying to be complicit across a broad spectrum. I'm trying to keep my VO2 max high, keep my heart health high, keep my cardiovascular ability high, have a big work capacity. But again, I want to hold on to as much muscle as I possibly can, while still feeling like I can move and be somewhat athletic. You know, I'm running around with my kids. I've also, my kids, Wyatt, we got soccer coming up, so I'm his soccer coach. So I'm going to be coaching the 4 to 6 year olds up in Ottawa. So, you know, I don't want to be the coach that's out of breath when he's like running around with the kids. So I got that coming up. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Obviously, we're in Palm Springs today, Pharos Palm Springs. This is our newest baby, which is an awesome facility. You know, a lot of people come here and say it's the best gym they've ever been to, which I think, you know, if this is what you're looking for, this kind of like hybrid gym, where you have like an amazing bodybuilding gym, but you also have an amazing, like, if you just spin the camera around, Chad, they can see, like, you got everything you need here, whether you're competing in HYROX, whether you're competing in CrossFit. This is everything you need. So I think genuinely it's one of the best gyms in the world for that. Plus just a great community, you know. So we've been super happy the way that this has gone. It basically turned out exactly as I'd envisioned it. It's exactly the kind of gym that I wanted. And now it's just like building it to the point where, you know, it's profitable, which takes work. Like, it takes a lot of work. It's not Field of Dreams. It's not, if you build it, they will come. Unfortunately, you have to build it, then you have to market the fuck out of it, then you have to sell it, then you have to maintain it, and then you have to keep selling it. Then you have to keep the community together, and then find great people to work in the space. Keep training those coaches, keep training them, the teams, the management teams, the front desk teams, making sure everyone's on board with the brand. Everyone can talk about the brand the way that we want it to be talked about. And we're growing this thing in the right way, you know? You can't just like build it and leave it. So all these things, they require so much attention, and so like constant attention and constant revamping and thinking about, okay, this worked, this didn't work. How do we make this better? How do we provide a better member experience? How do we get feedback from our members to making sure that we're always evolving in the right way and making the changes that we need to make? We've got a big refurb coming up at Echo Park, which is of course our original gym and our mothership. So that requires constant attention. You know, that gym's now 8 years old. And to anybody that's like thinking about, you know, opening a gym or going into the gym business, just know that it takes constant reinvestment. It's not like you can just build it and like leave it. As things get older, things break, not just in terms of equipment, but in terms of the structural stuff in the building, you have to constantly pay attention to and constantly revamp. So it takes constant reinvestment. And again, you have to find that money from somewhere. So it takes a lot of work to sustain a business. It's not just like building it and then you're done. It takes constant attention, constant reinvestment. And, you know, that's hard. It's super hard. You got to be really passionate about it, and you got to be really smart with it. It takes your attention, but it also takes a great team. You got to take the time to build a great team and have really good people around you who, again, are all on board with the brand and want to help you grow. You know, me and Emily realized that if this thing is going to be sustainable and growable, then we need great people to help us grow it. It's not just hiring people to come in and do a job. It's hiring people who want to join our vision and build the best hybrid gyms in America. Because that's what we're trying to do. There's no two ways about it. You know, we're not just in this for shits and giggles. Like, this is serious for us. So we want people who share that vision and want to join us in that vision and, you know, come in and say, like, I want a career in fitness and I want that career to be with Pharos Athletic Club. So if anybody's watching this and they're out there and you're interested in being a career coach or a career in fitness sales or a career in, you know, fitness marketing, or want to be part of something that we're doing, then reach out, because we're always looking for good people. You know, the world is a crazy place and the world is always changing, but I take sanctuary in the fact that people will always need fitness. They will always need health. They will always need gyms. Like, AI can't do this. AI can design your program, but it can't do the fitness for you. You're going to have to do that for yourself. And our purpose and our job is to provide that space for you that you can do that and provide the best space for that. So you can come, you can do your strength training, you can do hypertrophy, you can do your conditioning, you can be with a great community, and it can be fun. You know, we need fun. We need more fun in our lives. Like, it's easy to get caught up in the bullshit. But we need fun and we need fitness, and we want Pharos to be that space where you get that. So yeah, come join us. Okay, so here is your wrap video. So this is going to teach you how to wrap your hands before you box. This protects our hands and protects our wrists so that we're safer when hitting the bag. We don't want to bruise our knuckles, graze our knuckles, we don't want to hurt our wrists. So this is going to give us the support we need. So when you're on your own or you're coming to a boxing class, just come in a little bit early and get yourself wrapped. So first of all, I'm going to take this loop, I'm going to put it around my thumb, and it's going to go this way towards my wrist. Then I'm going to wrap it around my wrist a couple of times, like so. And then I'm going to go up to the back of my hand and form an X. So I'm going to go one here and one here. So that's in that kind of X shape. From there, I'm going to go around the thumb and then up to the little finger. Now I need to build a pad on the back of my knuckles to protect my knuckles. If you do have any rings or jewelry, it's better to take them off. I'm going to leave this ring on. I literally cannot get it off, so it's stuck there. But I'll have enough padding that I'll protect myself, so just watch. I'm going to go knuckle, and you can actually put this down on a surface if you want to. Knuckle, build the pad, knuckle, build the pad, knuckle. So I'm just folding it back and forwards to build this kind of protective layer over my knuckles. Then I'm going to wrap the whole thing to lock it in place. Boom. A couple of times. Boom. And then go back to the thumb. Okay, so I've built that pad now. I just layered it, built the pad. Now thumb to little finger to secure it in place. Thumb to middle finger to secure it in place. And then thumb to index finger to secure it in place. Then I'm going to go back to the wrist, back between the index finger and the thumb, and then I'm going to wrap around my wrist. So now I have wrist support, I have good knuckle padding, and I'm ready to box. These blue things from a company called Winning, this just gives me a little extra bit of padding. I hit pretty hard, so this I just find gives me the cushioning. Usually I'd put this under the wrap and then just put this over the top, but because I wanted to show you guys how to wrap without it, we did that first, and then I'm just going to put these over the top, so don't worry about these. All right, so we're going to start with our basic boxing position. So I'm left-handed, so my left foot's, I'm right-handed, so my left foot's going to be forward, my right foot's going to be back. I'm going to have flexion in my knees like this. Elbows are going to come in, hands are going to come up, and I'm going to try and find a natural rhythm from right to left. I'm going to stay loose in my shoulders, loose in my knees, nice and relaxed. From here, I'm going to start throwing out my jab. So when I throw that jab, my left foot is going to come forward 6 inches. I'm going to extend my left hand out, and I'm going to bring it straight back. I'm going to take these off. Into range, out of range. So I'm planting that back foot. That's where the power is coming from. I'm stepping into range and out of range. Be careful. When you step in 6 inches, you don't step out 20 inches. It's just in and out of range. It's all a matter of inches in boxing. Into range, out of range. Okay? After I've thrown that jab, let's throw that right hand. So that number 2 punch, that right cross, look like this. So when you throw that right hand, you have to think about the hip coming in. This movement. My arms are relatively weak. All the power is coming through my feet, through my legs, through my hips, and out through my arms. The arms are just a delivery tool. So when I throw that 1-2, I'm turning that right hip in, the arms coming out to full extension, coming back. Remember, the target is the same. I'm not punching 2 different heads. Same spot, same spot, same spot, same spot. My chin stays down, boom, boom, and then back to my starting position where I'm nice and relaxed. I always come back to my basic stance. After the right hand, we have the left hook. It looks like this. So again, when I throw that left hook, I have to think about my hip coming this way. I'm going to turn on the ball of the left foot, and I'm going to transfer the weight across my body. Again, that power is coming through the rotation. It's not this. It's not my arms. It's my whole body. After the left hook, we have the right hook. Same thing, but going the other way. Boom. So this time, my right hip is coming across. The weight is transferring back across my body. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the right hook. After the right hook, I got the left uppercut. Remember, with these uppercuts, the power again is coming through the floor, through my legs, and out through my arms eventually. So let me show you a left jab, left uppercut. So when I throw that left uppercut, I'm driving off this left leg. Bend the leg, drive off the leg, rotate the hip, transfer the weight up into the uppercut. It's coming up through the guard. Boom. Right hand stays up to protect. Or one, two, left uppercut. Okay. Last punch, the right uppercut. So this time, right leg coming up in the middle. So if I was to put it together, maybe with the left jab, notice my chin stays down as I throw that uppercut. I'm not here like this. Chin stays down. nice and tight. So I've got my jab, my right hand, my left hook, my right hook, my left uppercut, my right uppercut. All the time, I'm thinking about that energy coming from the floor, through my legs, through my hips, through my torso, and out through my arms. Remember, the arms are just the delivery tool. I have to use my whole body as one, in sync, to make the most of my movement and my transference of body weight through the punches. So we're going to go into a little shadow boxing. When you do your shadow, I'm just practicing. I'm just practicing movement. I'm just practicing what's happening with my torso. Elbows are going to stay in, hands are going to stay up. I'm going to try and stay nice and loose, nice and fluid. I'm going to practice all my punches. I'm going to practice some head movement. So essentially just practicing, warming myself up for the bag work that I'm going to do. Chin's going to stay down, eyes are going to stay up. I'm just thinking about how I move around the ring, you know, how I move in space. Again, into range, out of range, into range, out of range. Change that head movement, change the height of which I'm moving, because sometimes you'll hit high, sometimes you'll hit low. So you have to find levels, the high level, the low level, the movement, the roll, you know. I'm going to move around as if I would be, you know, in the boxing ring, as if I had an opponent with me. And I'm just trying to get nice and loose and trying to let my shoulders get loose and then my shoulders get warm. And just execute some different combinations and just kind of have fun with it. So when you do your bag work, I always want you to think about how you approach the bag. I can't just stand by the bag and start hitting on it. Never gonna happen. So I like to stand back from the bag, think about how I'm gonna make my way in before I throw my punches. So I always start back, think about moving in. So sometimes I'm working at range. So I'm thinking about those longer shots, thinking about keeping my opponent at arm's length. And then sometimes I'm coming in close for that close work, trying to stay protected on the inside, and then throwing those big hooks, big uppercuts from the inside. So let me just show you some inside work. So one of the things I learned fairly early on is not every punch needs to be a power punch. Now I love power punching, my favorite thing, but sometimes you're just tapping. You know, not every punch has to be a haymaker. So I like to vary it. Like sometimes I'm just focused more on speed, just touching that bag up. And then sometimes I'm turning my body into those punches, trying to generate as much force and power as I possibly can. And then I'm mixing up those disciplines. Fast, speed, power, a little bit slower, as explosive as I can, trying to generate force. And then understanding that the reality is, in the real world, someone's hitting you back. So you can't just stand in there wailing on someone. You have to stay protected. You have to think about, okay, what would I do here if someone's hitting me back? Am I safe? Am I in range? Am I out of range? And just be smart with it. Okay, so little debrief. We just warmed up. I basically did some running and some walking for about 10-15 minutes, just to get the body a little bit warm. I did actually train this morning. I already ran this morning and did a leg session this morning. So I wanted to box this afternoon, so I did like just a 10-15 minute warm up on the treadmill, had a little chat with you guys. And then we did some shadow, a couple of rounds of shadow boxing. Again, just practicing movement, getting the body flowing, going through some punches, some combinations, getting that head movement, trying to get nice and fluid, try and relax. And then we did some bag work, moved on to the bag, just practice some long distance work, some short distance work, mixing it up, changing around the bags. Sometimes I'm just punching for speed, sometimes I'm punching for power. It really is a mixture of stuff. And thinking about the bag as an opponent and just not standing in there, just wailing on the bag. Into range, out of range, into range, out of range. Where am I safe? Where am I at risk? If I'm at risk, am I protecting myself? Are my hands up? Are my elbows in? If not, I got to fix it. So, mixing up all those disciplines and trying to get nice and fluid with it. So we did that for about 6 rounds. We did about 6 2-minute rounds today with about a minute rest. And then we finished with a little power endurance circuit. So we did some bull slams, some sled pulls, some sled pushes. Again, when I do stuff like that, I like to do stuff that complements the boxing stuff. So I'm really thinking about power and then conditioning, obviously, because the conditioning can help with my boxing. But I like to usually include something that has explosive power. So something simple like a bull slam or jumping or something very basic like that can help us just generate force. And when I do the bull slams, I'm thinking about trunk flexion and how I'm using my body to create that power through trunk flexion. I'm not just like picking the ball up and dropping it. I'm thinking about like a sledgehammer into a nail, or an axe into a log. Like, how do I use my body to generate as much force as possible? It's not my arms. It's by trunk flexion. It's by using my whole body to generate force and power. So I always like to include that when I'm boxing because I think it translates really well. And sled work is just a great conditioning tool. Like, anybody can do it. Anybody can push and pull a sled. It's not elite. It's not exclusive. It's simple. And it's just a great functional tool to help you with your conditioning. So that's why we have it here in Pharos Palm Springs. I love having the sled and the turf because it just does add an extra dynamic to the space. And again, it's something that everybody can use. So I'd love for you guys to come and try it out. So that's kind of like a HYROX-ish circuit, or maybe it's high box. Did I just invent high boxing? High boxing, high boxing. But yeah, just mixing it up like that. Like I said, I did a bunch of hypertrophy strength work this morning. So this was really a conditioning session. Not too much kind of like hypertrophy work in this session. More about conditioning, explosive power, and just movement, just feeling good. So hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to put like a bunch of these together. Me and Chad are going to be working over the next few weeks and months to come up with a good fun YouTube channel, a good YouTube series for you guys. So if there's anything you want to see, let me know. We're going to put a bunch of stuff on this channel, whether it's ice bath stuff, whether it's boxing stuff, whether it's hypertrophy stuff, bodybuilding stuff. It's really going to be a mixed bag. So, and obviously it's for you guys. So whatever you want, let me know, and I'll see you in the gym.